Julian, how did you become an activist, and do you consider yourself to be an activist today?
I became an activist because someone asked me to join an activist movement. I was asked by a fellow student in Atlanta at Morehouse College to join the beginning of Atlanta's participation in the sit-in movement, and he was so compelling I couldn't say no to him, and so I found myself caught up in it, and I've been caught up with it ever since. So yes, I do consider myself an activist today. Perhaps a different kind of activism, but it's still activism for the same sorts of causes, although the causes have grown. But yes, I am still an activist.
Was that an easy decision, though? I mean, when you say someone asked you to join the sit-in, we're talking about a sit-in movement in Georgia in a period in which that was not a safe thing to do.
Well, I knew the possibility was that we'd get arrested. I knew getting arrested was likely to put a mark on your forehead, do not employ. I knew that the possibility was of some harsh treatment at the hands of the police or white bystanders. But I also knew that other people like myself, young people, young black people at other college campuses like mine had done this, and they had braved these possibilities without turning back, and I thought I could do the same, and I found something someplace in me that made me do the same. And so even though there was some hesitation, I could overcome it.
When you made those choices, knowing who your parents were, and you could tell us who they were, I know who they are, how did they deal with the choices you were making at that time as a young man?
My parents were academics. My father had been the president of Lincoln University in Pennsylvania, and also been the president of Fort Valley State College in Georgia. And at the time this occurred, he was dean of the School of Education at Atlanta University. My mother had been a classroom teacher and later became a librarian. So there are people interested in education. And so the idea that I would risk my education by getting arrested or by dropping out of college was just awful to them. But at the same time, they were very supportive of the civil rights movement and encouraged me to get engaged in it. And so torn between these two things and full of my promise that I would go back to school someday and finish my degree, which I did do, they acquiesced.